Yo guys, Aqua, welcome back to another video. Now today I'm going to be taking a look at the old Season 0 client as well as walking around some of the old POIs such as Flush and Wailing Woods. Now if you do enjoy today's video, I do want to say make sure you do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it does tell me that you want to see more content such as this, and if this video does do well enough, I'm going to go ahead and post a tutorial on it. Now one more thing I do want to quickly say is I want to say thank you to Larwin and Sayubi for making this possible. Larwin made the server and Sayubi made the method, but anyway, apart from that, let's get straight into today's video. So as you can see, this is Season 0. Now this was one of the first builds of Battle Royale which it did put out publicly. Now I'm pretty sure there was nothing really in here apart from solo squads and duos, which you can see. There was no skins, there was only leaderboard, stats, and the main lobby. Now back then they did have the 3 different game modes, which would have been solos, duos, and squads, which is nice to see that they did have all of them, unlike Warzone, which, you know, added them a little bit later on. So when it comes to lobby and looking around here, everything is pretty much the same as it would be normally. I'm gonna go ahead and load us into the map, and we're gonna walk around some of the old POIs, and we're kind of just gonna mess around spawning in some old things and spawning in airdrops and battle buses. So let's get straight into the main game. So the first old area we are going to take a look at is Dusty Depot. Now this did get removed a long time ago, sadly, but this was back then one of my favourite POIs since, I mean, I have been playing since Season 1, so this was one of my favourites. Now obviously everything is the same as it was before, and I personally think it's really cool to see. So as you can see, we can walk around the area again, which is really cool to see. It kind of brings back a lot of old times because this is how it was before. We can go ahead and walk over to chests. Sadly we cannot open them, but you know, we can highlight, look over them. It's another cool thing to see, and I mean, it's just really cool to walk around some of the old map and just see what we have missed with the old POIs and everything that was like the game before, which a lot of us did prefer and a lot of what we did want. So there's not a lot I can really show you here apart from the main area, so I'm just going to go ahead and walk around the rest of this so you can see. Now a lot of you might remember this place back in Season 1 up to about Season, I think it was here throughout the whole Chapter 1 map actually. And you'd go here, you'd rotate over to retail, so this one is a really cool place to see again. Now I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to do the same with the rest of the POIs and kind of just go over it and show off what it will look like again. So I'm not going to go over too many POIs today, but this was another one of my favourite POIs. Now seeing Samaritan again, it's pretty cool to see as well, and being able to walk around it's even cooler now. This all turned into some ancient shrine, and then the volcano event happened, and a volcano and shit. So that's what I can remember when it comes to that. Now I'm going to go ahead and walk around this POI as well. So there were a lot of POIs I did miss covering in most of this video. Now, only reason I didn't want to cover too much, since there is a lot of things to go over, and I don't want to waste too much time just going over some of the POIs. So I've done a quick little overcam now of some of them, which you can see here, and these are just a few examples of some of the other POIs that I did not cover. Now I'm going to show a few more cool things, such as someone in a few supply drops and the air bus, which is pretty cool, or the battle bus, whichever you want to call it, and just messing around with a few more things. So let's go ahead and jump into that next. So the first cool thing I do want to show is I am going to summon an airdrop, so that's another cool thing. I'm going to go ahead and go here and summon an airdrop, and as you can see, an airdrop is just going to start falling out the sky now. Now we can spawn as many of these as we want, so it's another cool thing. And if we go ahead and walk over here, we can look back and we can just see how many we did spawn. So 4 of them, this is a pretty cool thing we can do. Now it is pretty pointless since we can't open or do anything, but I think it's cool to see since it has all the odd sound effects, all of the odd particle effects, and we can just properly get a good look at how everything did work back then. So as you can see, the other came down now to start landing, so there's the first one, and followed by the other 3. And you can see when they do land, they do give a weird looking shockwave effect, what I've just noticed. So that's pretty cool. So there are the 4 airdrops that we have called in. Now we can look over them and you can see it looks like we can open them, but sadly we can. Maybe we can eventually, and Hopefully Saivy does make it so we can. Now there is a lot of spam sound effects I can hear right now, which is pretty interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and walk over here, and then we're going to summon a few battle buses. So what we're going to do next is spawn a few battle buses. I'm going to go ahead and spawn one here. And as you can see, it has all of the sound effects, it has the particle effects, and it is the exact same aircraft that would come in. So we can spawn as many of these again as we want, which is another cool thing, and it does look really funny and really stupid. We walk over here. As you can see, we now have 3 battle buses in the scene, which is a strange sight to see, if you ask me. Now, what I also did manage to find is we can find the chests. So if I go ahead and go here, we can spawn in as many chests as we want. Once again, sadly we cannot open them, but if we ever are able to open them, this is a cool way that we can get them. And then, I mean, it's probably an easy way to get weapons too, so, you know, maybe one day we can open these up just like we could back then. So the last thing I do want to cover are tires, because I think they're pretty funny. So we can go ahead and summon these, and as you can see, we can just jump around on a tire. You know, you can almost make your own parkour, of course, if you ask me. So I think this is just a pretty cool thing that you can do. Once again, pretty pointless, but it gets you to places. Now, that is pretty much it for today's video. Now, so if you do want a tutorial on how you can do this, make sure you do leave a like on the video. If we do good enough, I'm going to go ahead and post it, since I know a lot of you are going to want this. So that is pretty much it for today. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.